Hi, it's been a while. It's been over a year since I have uploaded a video, put anything on YouTube, and yeah, I've basically screwed my engagement with YouTube because of that. So if you're new here, welcome, and how on earth did you find me? If you are an older person who's followed me, welcome back. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a bit more of a scrapbook video. It's basically putting together everything I filmed in this last year that takes us from my last video up till now. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that because yeah, we basically go through all the seasons and you get to see a lot of what I've been getting up to in this past year. Anyway, hope you enjoy and I'll see you at the end. So in autumn last year, yep, I hope you're keeping up, this is last year's footage, I gave myself a little challenge where I uploaded an autumnal landscape every other day in October to try and keep the spirit of the season alive. I found that when I've attempted other challenges during October, it actually stops me going out during my favourite season and seeing like the season change and like my favourite parts of it. So this was a nice way to embrace that while still, enjoying art and the season itself. I did do a limited print run of the images and I sold some of the originals, and some of the originals have actually been exhibited in galleries, but that's going to be for another video. In this footage, I'm doing a collage page on my new sketchbook on the pages that you can't really work on. And you can also see I'm taking some pictures out of a sketchbook and popping them in here. And yeah, I tried something new and I just didn't really get on with the sketchbook I was trying. It's a Handbook Journal Co. watercolour sketchbook, and I, to be honest, just didn't get on with the size of it. I'd just finished an A5 sketchbook, which was much easier to transport around, so I thought I'd go smaller again, but I just found I just was not working in it at all. So I went back to a Strathmore Mixed Media sketchbook, and yeah, I actually finished a sketchbook like last year and still haven't done a tour. It's not my favourite one, but would folks still like a tour of it? But yeah, genuinely, I think I'm over halfway through this sketchbook. It's been so long since this one was started and my previous one was finished. It's just clear to me that whilst it's not the most transportable of sketchbooks, I am just more likely to work in a bigger size than I am a smaller one. So work with what I enjoy, you know? And yeah, I hope you like fish, because I went to Bristol Aquarium and filmed the fish because the fish looked cool. Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
Yum, 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 yum. Amazing. He is skeleton.
Oh, I can barely fit her in camera. I partook in one of my favourite beverages, mulled toffee apple cider, and it was a really good day exploring Bristol and looking at the Christmas market. Right, and now we are firmly into winter, and I went to a truly enchanting light show in Harrogate where they lit up the gardens there. And one of the reasons why this video was so delayed is because I desperately wanted to do some art from it, but I just never got around to it. So just enjoy the show with me for a bit. Then on a different day, we went back to Harrogate for their Christmas market, which was more focused on local sellers, and I got a few presents here as well as receiving a few on the big day itself. And yeah, we just had some excellent Christmas days out for a while, including going to York. We're now into the new year, and I went to London to see Stranger Things on stage with a dear friend of mine, and we had a little explore of London, and we just wandered into this cool display of like lit up butterflies. It was like really enchanting and so cool. We also had some excellent pancakes the next day, which may appear in a sketchbook spread at some point. It was another friend of mine's 30th birthday, and when we were staying had alpacas you could feed, and I fell in love with them, not gonna lie. There was a little one called Annabelle with big eyes who just has my heart. Firmly into spring now, and I went to visit a place called Whittick Manor with my mum, as it's a place not too far from when I grew up, but I'd genuinely never been, and it was kind of adorable and really got me raring to go for spring vibes. Then for my partner's birthday, we took a steam train to Whitby for a fun little day out, and I decided to dress a little vintagey for the occasion. I haven't been to Whitby since I was around 8, and all I could really remember was how windy it was, and good news, it was super windy again. We explored the areas, went to cute shops, and climbed the steps all the way up to the Abbey. And of course we went and had a look by the ruins of the Abbey, and after a brief explore they decided they wanted to go and look over at the cliffs and see some more of the landscape, and I laughed. I was like, no, it is way too windy over there. And I stayed in the shelter of the Abbey for a bit, and I actually ended up singing to myself and letting it echo around, and it was really, really nice. And have a little bit of cat footage to get you through your day. You're welcome. And this was my birthday weekend, where we went to a local food festival, which was so good. And we had a little fire in the evening and hung out, and I felt very loved. And now we get to see some actual art in this artist vlog, as I went to visit my parents and decided to do some live painting of some of the spring vibes in the area. I had to go and buy a bottle of water as I realised I'd forgotten to bring my own. And I'll be honest, I didn't quite get into the swing of painting this time around, but it was fun to give it a try. And then it started to rain, so I hurried on inside and I finished off my work back in my room at my parents'. And you can see a painting I did of a section of my mum's garden, which I actually really like. Into summer now, and this is a trip I did down to Brighton as one of my friends whose 30th I went to earlier in this vlog was leaving for Japan and was having her leaving do in London. And it just so happened that around that time a bunch of my southern friends were performing in Brighton around that date, so I ended up making almost a week out of the trip. Having some idea of what to expect in Brighton, I decided to bring my sketchbook and draw every day if I could, and I'm so happy that I actually did manage to do it apart from one rest day. But I often drew live and then carried stuff on it in the evening back at my host place. And speaking of my hosts, they were the first performance that I was seeing with their band Faye as Folk, as it was their album launch, and we were encouraged to dress up, and I actually won a prize for best dressed, which I appreciated, as sitting down in that corset for so long was a lot. And because I'm me, I took my sketchbook and drew live whilst they were performing, and yeah, they're so good and I am so proud of them. And this was the little box of goodies that I won. The next day was an exploration day with a friend of mine who's local to Brighton, and I was properly shown some of the cool shops and streets rather than me blundering around going, where am I? It was proper windy on the beach, but I did enjoy a cider at one of the bars, and we did sit in some shelter for a while just to enjoy the experience and the beach. And because I'm a very smart person, I either managed to drop or leave my phone on the beach, and I hadn't realised until I'd made it back to my host's house. But some kind soul handed it in to the officers on the beach, so wish all the love and karma on them. I have no idea who they are, but they are a truly wonderful person. This was my rest day and my planned trip into London for my friend's leaving do, and I got there and found she'd made me a blanket as a belated birthday present, which gets a lot of love from the rest of the trip and is still being loved and used now. I wish her all the best for her new life in Japan and will miss her loads. If days like these last... Then it was another day to myself where I just decided to have some time on the beach because I do love the sea and I just wanted to be super present in the moment and enjoy myself. The feeling pass. Would you find out with me if it all starts to crumble? I then caught up with some friends who were going to the Mermaid March, and I got to see some excellent looks and just have a really good time. It's not for me to decide. I also went to a restaurant my friend recommended for dinner, and I had one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. I still think about that sandwich, and I miss that sandwich. final full day in Brighton was meeting back up with the local friend and going around to some bars and cafes and chatting. And then there was a meetup for a bunch of us who do live role playing, which was super neat. And then it was time for the second performance I'd gone to Brighton to visit, which was an old acquaintance of mine, Fran, performing as Frankie Heartless. And I'm really pleased to say that we really reconnected through this. And then it was time to go, which was bittersweet as I'd had such a good time and I'd found a really comfortable space for me there. But I immediately wanted to carry that energy I'd found in Brighton and went to a local art night and did some live painting there, and actually got chatting with a friend of mine who turned up as well. Something Frankie Heartless said in a poem they'd written was, "You must search for joy, for it won't search for you." And I really wanted to carry that energy forward of making those good things happen for myself, looking at what I'd enjoyed in Brighton and carrying that forward. Which, involves doing more stuff in the local area. And here I am doing the Kirkstall Art Walk, where I looked at different artists and their displays, got loads of ideas and inspiration, and just engaged in a cool thing in my area. And I met a lovely artist who encouraged me to get my work exhibited, which, watch this YouTube space, because that kind of did happen. But that'll be for another video. And in the meantime, I just wanted to show you some of the cool art I saw and some of the cool locations it was held in. Like, it was a really cool idea and I really want to go to more of these kinds of things. And for a couple of them, I ended up like going through parks into gardens and like up the gardens through a trail into like a little shed at the back where all the art was kept. And it was just so magical that I just wanted to share that with all of you. Are they friendly?
Very friendly.
Hiya, excuse me, hello. Hi. Oh, aren't you just the best bit of the trail? maybe two. Oh, no such thing, is there? Oh, I bet you're warm today, aren't you? And yeah, I got to see artists of different disciplines at different places in their careers, and it just gave me a lot to think about in terms of where I want to go with my artwork if I ever want to do stuff like this. And yeah, just gave me loads of cool ideas for future paintings. So we'll see if there's any direct inspiration from the artists and artwork I saw here at any point. And also, we got a night where we saw loads of bats in our garden, and it was really, really cool. Finally, I went to a zine fair, and I know I said this a lot, but yeah, I got super inspired to the point that I have a bunch of zine ideas I want to do. And yeah, I spent a lot of money on zines, but I enjoy looking through them. They're something cool and physical for me to have, and I wanted to support local artists. Alright, I didn't have any other clips I wanted to use at this point, so we're going to round this out here. To explain a bit more about why there's been a bit of a delay, after I filmed my last vlog, I ended up getting quite sick, and it really, really affected my energy going forward. I was super drained all the time, and it really, really came out in doing video stuff. I just didn't want to do it. There's a massive block on it. So I kept putting stuff off until eventually I realised I had almost like a year's worth of footage, and I was like, well, let's just round this out. I do intend to stick around though. As I mentioned a couple of times in the vlog, I have some exhibitions that are happening which are really cool, like objectively really cool, and I can pop in the vlog. Also, with my time in Brighton, I am intending to create a little zine about my time in Brighton, which will be a thing people can buy at some point. And yeah, I hope you stick around because I'm intending to this time. And thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to do that good old like, comment and subscribe because I need all the boost I can get right now from this year break I took off YouTube. So take care everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Do you want me to hold your camera?
I'm scared for you. I'm so scared for you. Can I hold it and you do it? Because I just know what's going to happen. There we go.